Hey, what's up? In today's video, I share with you 10 Microsoft Excel tricks and tips you must know. And coming in at number 1 is sprint columns using delimeters. Well, in front of me is a table containing columns data, first name, last name, and company. And I'm required to come and fill in the first name, the last name, and the company columns. But when you look closely at the data that I have here, it already contains the information that I need to fill in these columns. So if you don't know about this trick, what you will do normally is to just come and fill in the information manually. But that will consume a lot of time. So let me show you a trick that you can be able to use to fill in these columns very fast. And this is what I'm calling sprint columns based on delimeters. So the first thing that you are required to do is to select the records that you already have. Then ensure that you are under the data tab. Ensure that you are under the data tab. Then head on to the data tools group and select the text columns. So from the window that appear, ensure that delimited is selected. This will have characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. Click next, and then in the second tab ensure that the comma is selected. So I'm selecting the comma because it is the character that is separating my records. In your case, you could have used semicolons or just space or a tab. So pick on the delimiter depending on which character you have used to separate your record. After that, you click next. And the final step is to come and select the column data format. In my case, I'll go with general, but you still have 3 more options to pick from. And finally, you have to come and select the destination. So I'll come and highlight where I want the records to be inserted, and it is from the first name all through to the company, like that. And then after that, I just click finish. And what you're going to notice is that the columns first name, last name, and the company name will be filled automatically from the records that I have under the data column. Coming in at number 2, make charts easily. As you may already know, Excel allows you to have a graphical representation of your data. And normally what you will do to insert these charts is to select your table, then head on to insert, and then head on to the charts group, and you will pick one of the recommended charts. You can pick a donut chart, you can pick the column chart, you can pick any chart that you want. But do you know that there is an easier way of inserting charts in Microsoft Excel? Well, let me show you how that works. So select all your records, and then at the bottom right corner of your records, you're going to notice this button here. It's called the quick analysis. And if you like shortcuts just like me, you will Ctrl+Q. So upon clicking on this, you're going to see this thing appear. So by default, it could be on the formatting, but what we want are charts. So just head on to the charts, and you're going to see different charts rolled. So you can come and pick from these different charts that you have here, and if you need more, you can just click on this. So in my case, I'll just come and click at the crater. So upon clicking on that, a chart is immediately inserted, and I can be able to place it wherever I want. So the next time you create a chart, make charts quickly. Coming in at number 3, switch data allowed, transpose it. Well, in front of me I have a simple table containing 2 rows and 6 columns, and what I'm required to do is to switch them so that I have 6 rows and 2 columns. So this is what is called transpose. So all you need to do the switch is to select the whole table, and then you right click to copy it, And then you come and select the location where you want to have the switched information. Say I wanted to come here, and then I head on to home. I click the drop down under paste, and under the paste options I come and select paste special. So this opens this dialog window, and all you are required to do here is to just come and select transpose, and then you click on OK. And what you are going to notice is now down here I have the same records like what we have here, but now transposed or switched aloud. And that's how you can simply switch data aloud in Microsoft Excel. Now in number 4, I show you how you can sort information or data by date or even color. So in front of me I have this table containing columns expense date, employee, food and hotel. And what I am required to do is to come and sort the hotel by color. You notice that under the hotel I have the 3820 highlighted in yellow, 3885, 3085 and 528, all of them with a highlight color. So I want to sort these records so that all these that have colors are appearing together. So all I need to do is to just come and right click one that has a highlight color, and then I locate the sort, and then I can come and put the selected cell color on top, and you're going to notice that the cells that has the highlighting color will be placed together, and this will have the records sorted as such. Now down here I also have another simple table containing columns department, category, October, November and December. And what I want to show you here is how you can be able to filter by selected name. So for example, let's say I want to come and filter the records here based on the produce department. So I can right click on the produce department, and then I go to filter, and here I come and select filter by selected cell value. So upon clicking on that, Excel will just show me the records that has that specific value. Cool, isn't it? My hope that you're still running new skills and you're enjoying the video. If this is the case, kindly hit on the subscribe button so that you can be notified every time I release such videos in future. Well, previously I showed you how you can be able to separate records stuck in one column into several columns. But in this tip, I want to show you how you can be able to do the reverse. How you can have records in two columns being filled in one column. Like in this case where I have the first name, the last name and the username. So you notice that I already have the first names and the usernames, and I am required to fill in the username. So normally what you will do is you just come and combine these two names and type them here. But do you know that you can be able to use a formula to combine these two names and have the single or the username appear here? Let me show you how. So all you need to do is to just come and select where you want the username to appear. Then you press equals. You select the first name, then you put an ampersand, shift +7, and then you select the last name, then you press enter, and that will give you the two names combined. On the other hand, you may want to have the two names separated with a space or a comma. So put an equal sign, select the first name, put the ampersand, and to tell Excel to put a space, we always put double quotes. So you're going to put the first quote, then you put a space, and then another quote, and then you put another ampersand, and then you select the last name, and then you hit enter. So that should give you now the two names, but now with a space. Let me repeat that. to have the two names joined together but with us. So the first thing that you need to do is to select where you want the username to appear. You put an equals, you select the first name, then you put an ampersand, then after that you put the opening quote, space, closing quote, and then you put another ampersand, and then you select the last name. So this means that the first name will have its own ampersand and the last name will have again its own ampersand, unlike in the first case. In between the two you're having the opening and the closing quotes. Then you hit on enter. One more time, equals, select the first name, ampersand, opening quote, space, closing quote, another ampersand, the last name, enter. You can copy that. That's how you can be able to join data in cells in Microsoft Excel. Well, at number 6, I share with you how you can be able to use calculated rows and columns. As usual, in front of me I have a simple table here containing department, category, October, November and December. I also have these values on the different months. So all I want to do is to have the sum here, and I can also have the sum here if I want. The first thing that you need to do is to insert a table allowed these records. So select all the records and then head on to insert, then you click on the table. So from the window that appear here, you're going to see the cell regis. So just come and say OK. So you're going to notice that you're now going to have this shaded table. So all I need to do now is to come and add total here, like that, and notice that a column is added and it is also shaded as well. Now we want to come and get the total of these. So the keyboard shortcut to getting the sum of any value in Microsoft Excel is Alt plus equals. So press Alt plus equals, and then you're going to see the sum function being written for you here. So all you need to do is to come and press enter, and you're going to see the records or the sum of all the values in that column total. You may also want to have the totals down here. So maybe you can come here and maybe call it total. Let me just call it total. And then I come and click on the cell where I want to have the sum, and then under design I just come and select the total row, and I'm going to see something like this. So this means that my column is a little bit too small to accommodate the information or the value here, so I can just come and expand it a little bit, and I'm going to have that. Let's say for example I change my mind and say I don't want to have total, rather I would want to have average. So it's very simple. Just come and click on the total, and then you click on the drop down here and change it to average. Or do you want to count numbers? Okay, just come and select count. So you can be able to come and select all of these, and it will give you the value automatically. Group sheets and make changes to all of them. So what I have here, I have a sheet that I have named as group 1, group 2 and group 3. You also notice that in all the groups or in all the sheets I have the same records. Now I want to group all of them so that as I make one change on one group, the change is applied to all the tables. So to be able to do this, I just need to come and select the first sheet which I have named as group 1. Then I hold a shift and I select the last one, and you've already grouped them already. If you want to ungroup, if you change your mind, you can right click and say ungroup. Now let's get back to group 1. When you select on a certain sheet, it's going to change the color to green, so you'll know on which sheet you are in. So now for example here, say I want to come and make the column headings here bold. I would also want to come and enlarge the columns here so that the records are fitting well. Now you notice that when I go to group 2, the same change. When I go to group 3, we have the same thing. Now in front of me I have this table that contains some sort of data, and as you can notice I have several columns, and working with such a sheet can sometimes become so hectic. But one thing can help you a lot, and that is sprinting this sheet. So all you need to do is to head on to data. So all you need to do is to head on to view, and then under window you're going to see this sprint. So just click on it. So you're going to see or notice that it is going to add 2 sprints. So it is going to add a horizontal line here and a vertical line here. So for my case I don't need this one, so I can just come and drag it out like that, and what I need is this one here. So I can even position it wherever I want to come and split my sheet. Maybe it is allowed there. And now what you notice is that my sheet now will be sprinted into 2, and I can now be able to come and scroll the 2 screens separately, as you can see. So that is something that can come in very handy, especially when you have records that are running into several columns. Now at number 9 I show you how you can be able to move columns around your sheet. Now in this sheet I have different columns, and I would be required to move this column to be the first column here. So all I can do is that I can come and select the column, and then I hold shift, and then I move it around. You may notice that as I'm moving it around, I'm seeing a certain vertical and horizontal line appearing. That is showing me where the column will be dropped, just in case I release the mouse. So in my case I wanted to appear as the first column here, so I'm going to make sure that the line is appearing there, and then I release the shift and the mouse, and you're going to notice that the column is now moved just there. And finally at number 10 I show you some tricks that you can use when you are working with decimal points in Microsoft Excel. So at times you may be required to enter some values or numbers in decimal points, and what we usually do normally is that we just come and enter the values like that, and then we select all the values, and then we head on to home, and here we can be able to come and add or remove decimal points. What if you want the decimal points to be inserted automatically? Let me show you how you can be able to go about that. So head on to file, and then come and select options down here. From the Excel options window that appear, select the advanced, and you're going to see some editing options. Here we are looking at automatically insert a decimal point, so check on that box first. Then down here you're going to notice that we have the places, and we have a number 2. This represents the decimal point. So you may want to be adding 2 decimal points automatically, all 3, or just 1. Let's go with 2. Remember 2 will be the default, and remember this one will be unchecked, so you have to check it and make sure that you put the decimal places that you may want to be inserted automatically. Let me just make it 3, and then after that I can just come and click OK. Now I can start inserting values here, and you notice that when I go to a new cell, a decimal point is inserted automatically. Remember, if you change your mind, you can always come and remove the decimal points from here. can select everything, and then under home in the number group, come and remove the decimal points if you no longer need them. And that's how you can be able to insert decimal points automatically in Microsoft Excel.